Hi, my name is Madeline Balaam, and I'm here to briefly present a project called Mid-Sized Seated Haptic Interactions for Autonomous Vehicles. This is a demonstrator project for Digital Futures, and it's a collaboration between myself at the KTH Royal Institute of Technology and Dr. Anna Stahl, who's at RISE. This is the project team. There are 5 of us working on this project, or there have been over the last year at least. Myself and Anna, who are leading the project, and we have working with us Caroline Yang Zheng, who is a research engineer based at KTH Royal Institute of Technology. And then up until very recently, we have had 2 wonderful master students working with us, Embla and Gudrun. Embla and Gudrun are no longer at KTH. They have graduated from their master's program, but we really appreciate the contributions that they have made to this work. It has been quite an extraordinary collaboration. So just to give a little bit of context then as to what we're talking about when we're talking about mid-sized haptic interactions in car seats, I will provide a little scenario. So this scenario relates to this idea of re-engagement in car seats. So imagine you are in a self-driving car, and at the moment your self-driving car is driving for you. You have taken, therefore, the opportunity to rest a little bit. You've lowered the seat, and you're somewhere between being asleep and awake. And the car is beginning to approach a city, and so you legally need to take over the driving. The car tries to alert you of this in a way that's gentle at first. Slowly the inclination of the seat changes to a more upright position. The seat pushes your lower back forward and your shoulders move backward. Your head and your neck get to be in a more upright position. And your seating position now has changed from being one that was slouched and relaxed to one that is more alert. The seat then starts to make firmer and faster movements, making it less comfortable for you. You put your hands on the steering wheel and squeeze to let the car know that you are now in control. So with this project, what Anna and I and the rest of the research team are trying to do is really explore what are the possible sensory options that shape-changing and haptic interactions embedded within a car seat might be able to offer. And what kinds of user experiences might come with these different kinds of configurations of haptic technologies, and which of these user experiences might be desirable. So in this particular scenario, you can see that we go between trying to create a relaxing position with the car seat and experience in the car seat such that a driver might be able to sleep or rest, but also that this car seat can dynamically change to make itself less comfortable in order to make the driver more alert. So in this way, it's an interesting project because we're not just looking at nice positive user experiences, but we might also be potentially looking at creating discomfort, creating mild pain even, in order to draw a driver back into the experience of driving and make them really alert. So this project has 3 main objectives. We want to very widely explore what the experiential affordances of touch in mid-sized haptic interactions might be. And you can see here really the emphasis is on the sensory experience of touch. What does it feel like to be touched? What kinds of experiences might this touch create? That's what we're most interested in this project. And then we want to try and combine different kinds of experiences in ways that we can imagine might be able to re-engage or disengage a driver when driving in a semi or fully autonomous car. And then finally, as this is a demonstrator project, we are intending to create a final demonstrator of some of these seated mid-size haptic interactions that we can then show to the public or show to car manufacturers, as well as leave in Digital Futures to help kind of enable other people to engage with these concepts and really think about what they might mean for different industries or different kinds of experiences. So, of course, there has been a huge amount of work within human-computer interaction on driving experiences and how to best communicate with drivers in order to support navigation or in order to heighten safety. And to this work, we're really contributing the exploration of a different modality. So here we're really saying, what can we do with touch in a car seat that might provide information or new kinds of experiences to a driver? There's also a large body of work that has looked at haptic experiences, but on the whole, these haptic experiences are focused on technologies for the hands and fingers. And so with this project, we really want to say, what are the other kinds of experiences that we might be able to engender using haptics? And in particular, haptics or touch on the back, the shoulders, the lower back, the thighs, and the butt. These are kinds of parts of the body that really haven't been touched much by technology. So it's interesting for us to explore what kinds of touches these might provide. And in order to really drive forward this investigation, we're using a Soma design methodology. The Soma design methodology allows us to incorporate the sensory experience of the body alongside the emotional experiences and cognitive experiences to really fully attend to the whole experience of being in the world. Here we're using Soma design in particular to think about what does it mean to touch the back, the bottom, the thighs, and how might we touch these parts of the body well in a dignified way and in a way that provides particular kinds of meaningful experiences for a driver. Here you can see some of this very early design work where Gudrun and Embla were exploring first, like which parts of the back touch a car seat when we sit back. This helped us and them to think about the size of different shape-changing modules and also the placement of these shape-changing modules in order to provide different kinds of experiences. And then on the right-hand side, you can see them start to translate this knowledge into a prototyping kit that would allow us to explore shape-changing interactions on car seats. So with Soma design, it's really important that designers and those developing the technology can actually try and retry experiences over and over again to really figure out what feels good, what feels right, how exactly should a touch be. And so here, in making this prototyping mat and pneumatic pumping system, we are able to create a relatively portable prototyping system that could be used in buildings, but also in the car to try things out. Here is some work we started to do last year when we were starting to define what different interactions might be like, how these experiences might relate to either this notion of re-engaging in a driving experience or disengaging in a driving experience. And we were also very lucky that Volvo lent us a car for us to do some of this design work in. So we started the design work in our design studio, making use of this pneumatic toolkit that Gudrun and Embla had produced. And then we quite quickly took some of these experiences out into the car and drove around the KTH campus, trying out different kinds of interactions to see what feels good. When we had some initial ideas of what might feel good, what might be meaningful, we took these then to a 2-day workshop at Volvo, where we worked with people who work in the user experience team for Volvo and explored with them in a collaborative way what kinds of interactions should we put in a car seat? What makes sense for this idea of re-engaging or disengaging and makes sense for the Volvo brand? Again, on the first day, we did explorations in-house, so within the building, with people in the design team at Volvo, really trying to coordinate and orchestrate different types of interactions. And then in the second day, we took these out into the car, tried and refined them further until we left the workshop with some core insights to take with us over the coming year of the project. So the important learnings for us is that working in the car is essential. The experience of trying things in a gaming seat in a building is so different to trying stuff in the car. It's really important that we bring design work into the car quickly in order to really feel what makes sense. We found, and we kind of knew this already, but that deflating shapes creates this wonderful sense of relaxation in the body. And that might be a very useful kind of interaction to make use of when thinking about disengaging a driver, either on arriving to a destination or when the semi-autonomous car is going to take over the driving experience. We noticed that there's a real balance that needs to be made between creating a touch with the right amount of force such that the body can feel that something is happening and actually notice that something is happening, versus that touch being just overwhelming, too strong and distracting. So there's a balance that must be made in these pneumatic systems. And this balance really depends upon where on the body the touch is happening. So some parts of the back, the thighs, the bottom are more sensitive to pneumatics touch than others. And so what next? What we've been working on now then is really starting to move away from the kind of rapid low fidelity prototyping system that we have been using, which is very playful and fun, and it allows us to create interesting experiences, but they're not repeatable. So we've been moving away to using control boards that will allow us to deliver recorded patterns time and time again, so that we can actually thoroughly test these patterns in the car and understand a bit more thoroughly and rigorously what experiences they engender. So our next steps will be to be embedding some shapes made of silicone into a car seat, utilizing this new pneumatic system that is automated, making use of control boards and sensors and all that good stuff, so that we can actually start to tune this experience for a car seat and test this experience in cars, in a driving situation, in a relatively robust way. Thank you so much for your time.